Every online competitive shooter has adopted the use of the class system to try and ensure the player base with as fair an environment as possible. Every class has its strengths and weaknesses and allows players to choose from a selection of presets and then customize their weaponry and skills to complement said class. So, if you would, indulge me and let's travel to that alternate universe of the Dwilight Zone that has implemented a class system for PvP. What's going on, ladies and gents? It's LtBuzzLitebeer, and in today's Division video, I wanted to try and elaborate and discuss a possible scenario for correcting the imbalances of the DZ. But first up, I want to give a huge thank you to all of my loyal subs and anyone that watched my broken or not broken DZ video, as it has really opened up a channel to express our frustrations and delights with the Dark Zone in its current state. I received in excess of 250 comments on this one video, and I tried to respond to all of them, and without a doubt, the player base is completely divided on how the DZ is functioning in this meta. The two most commonly seen comments are either some sort of rant about one-shot sticky bombs, alpha bridge bitches, and fucking gankers, or the DZ's fine, learn to play and get good, bitch. Now, those are somewhat condensed statements, but you get the point. Players are either completely disillusioned with the DZ, or are fine with how it is and either don't want changes at all, or small tweaks only. We will never all agree on how the DZ is, or what needs to be changed, but I wanted to take one of the more popular statements about we needed a class system for PvP and absolutely run wild with this concept. As far as I know, this will be a completely new and unique series, and I encourage you to join in the discussion. This is episode 1 of this 5-part series, and today I will focus on the mechanics of this utopian PvP environment, including skills, talents, weapons and mods, gear sets and bonuses, and some initial groundwork for the next 4 episodes, which will focus on the available classes to use in this DZ. First topic up for discussion in the Dwilight Zone is the skill system and how it has been greatly reduced and simplified for PvP. The healing skills have been completely modified so that first aid has been removed from the environment. In addition, support station has been reworked into a skill that can be used effectively but not abused, as the range, duration, and speed are preset and cannot be modified. Life support can now only heal you and your squad mates for 2% for every second you are in range of the med station. The revive function on the life support has been removed and can now only be performed by squad mates that are in range of the down teammate. Immunizer has also been removed, as status effects cannot be applied by agents except for stun and fire grenades, and therefore will have to be dealt with in combat on a case-by-case basis. The ammo cache has now been buffed, so that if you are in range of the cache, it will replenish your depleted ammo reserves over time, but will not prevent you from using ammo if you are within its halo. The destructive skills of turret and seeker mines are completely balanced and now require guidance to be activated. If a player chooses to use the class that these devices are allowable, he or she must enter into a guidance screen while controlling the turret or mines in order to control them and keep them on target. Once in the guidance screen, this agent will be removed from combat and cannot engage NPCs or other agents with their weapon while their devices are activated and being controlled. A player can prematurely end their destructive skill early in order to run or enter combat with their weapon, but their skill will need to go through the necessary cooldown period before being used again. Turret only comes with the base skill and uses standard ammunition, while the seeker mines no longer allow for air burst, cluster, or gas charge. In addition, the seeker mine must be steered by the controlling player and then detonated once reaching said target. Damage from the seeker mine is 20% more than a standard frag grenade, but cannot exceed 40% of a player's maximum health. Sticky bomb is limited to strictly BFB and cannot damage a player even if contacted with a direct hit for more than 75% of full health. Obviously, if a target is less than 75% health, direct contact with the sticky bomb will lead to instant death. If equipped, Mobile Cover and Ballistic Shield do what they were created to do: provide cover to players that are either moving or cannot use readily available terrain for cover. Active damage buffs and nerfs have been removed from these two skills, as they are simply barriers to prevent incoming rounds from contacting players. Smart Cover and Pulse do not exist in the Dwilight Zone, and therefore will not be discussed in this forum. Signature skills do exist in the Dwilight Zone, but focus on flee or fight scenarios and do not buff damage output or res down squad mates who are in range. Instead of 3 signature skills, there are 4, and they are specific to one of the 4 classes you choose to use. Fleet Feet allows squad mates within range to receive a 15% sprint speed bonus for 10 seconds to allow for quick escapes and avoidance of hairy situations. Available only for the Tactician class. Secondary Triage allows players to set down an additional support station for 15 seconds even if they already have their primary station down and active. The secondary station will heal for 75% of that of a normal heal station. Heal stations will not be able to overlap as the players will be healed by the stronger of the 2 stations, rendering the secondary station useless. Available only for the frontline medic class. Loud and Proud allows a player to temporarily set up their LMG with a bipod through the use of available cover including mobile and stay bipoded up for a duration of 30 seconds. Loud and Proud does not provide for additional damage or incoming damage buffs. Once bipoded up, the player does receive temporary 30% boost to stability and accuracy, available only for the Suppressor class. Steady Hands allows a player to receive an additional 20% stability and accuracy for 20 seconds while under the effects of this signature skill. While using a DMR, this will also allow a player using an 8x zoom scope or higher to receive 50% less flinch from incoming rounds while zoomed in. Available only for the Overwatch class. Upon entering the Dwilight Zone, a player's individual agent talents are removed to prevent players from abusing and stacking talents like Critical Save and Booster Shot. I will cover in detail the individual classes in the next 4 episodes, but we'll cover weapons and weapon mods in this video. In the Dwilight Zone, certain weapon archetypes are specific to each class but can be customized through the use of differing magazines, optics, underbarrel attachments, muzzle mods, and a 5th upgrade, slings. Optics provide no additional buffs to an agent's weapon but allow for player customization through the differing zoom factors. Optimal range is already set through the class you select and cannot be changed through optics. Grips, muzzle mods, and slings allow for increased stability or accuracy depending on the mod, and players can find increasingly higher base mods in the Dwilight Zone as they progress. Critical hit percentage and damage do not exist on weapons in this DZ. Extended magazines are available to equip but have effects on reload speed and are capped at 100% additional ammo. If a player chooses to equip the maximum of a 100% mag mod, known in the Dwilight Zone as a beta mag, then their reload speed is increased by 30% due to the higher weight of this magazine. The increase in reload speeds is directly affected by the size of the mag mod due to its increased weight, but is capped at 30% additional time for the maximum 100% additional clip size. Individual weapon talents do not exist in the Dwilight Zone, and gunfights are based on effective use of cover and tactics over proccing weapon talents and standing face to face with your target until one of you collapses. I will cover the weapon archetype changes along with the 4 different classes in the next 4 episodes. In the Dwilight Zone, all gear set bonuses are disabled to promote a fair and balanced PvP society. No more status effects other than that from grenades, no more gear set damage buffs, and the enemy armor damage mechanic does not exist in this Dwilight Zone. Players have preset amounts of health based on which class they choose, which cannot be changed through the use of gear sets or gear mods. Armor does not exist in this DZ, so enemy armor damage, armor mitigation, and gear set pieces with additional enemy armor damage are rendered useless. Based on which class you select, players do have the destructive talent in differing degrees, but this is only effective versus NPCs. Finally is the time to kill and how it works in the Dwilight Zone. TTK is greatly decreased in this alternate universe and is completely based on the weapon archetype you were using and the hit location multipliers. Each weapon has a preset amount of damage it can inflict on an enemy target instead of what we currently have, which is a damage range. The changes in the damage output are directly affected by the hit locations and go something like this. Legs up to the belt line and arms from the hand up to the shoulder provide damage to the enemy equal to 75% of the standardized damage output for your selected weapon archetype. An example is if you are using an assault rifle and it has a base damage of 50,000 hit points and you shoot another agent in the arm or leg, your target will receive 37,500 hit points of damage. Connecting with the torso from the belt line up to the neck area just below the chin will result in full damage being applied but does not result in a one-shot kill. Headshots have greatly increased damage multipliers, resulting in 2 times the normal damage per headshot landed. Headshots with a bolt-action DMR result in a one-shot, one-kill scenario in the Dwilight Zone. As always, I would love to hear what you thought about the first episode in my fictional Dwilight Zone video series. Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and let's have some fun with this. If you could take the time to rate the video with either a thumbs up or down, it would be greatly appreciated. If you want some more LtBuzzLitebeer and my Division content in your life, feel free to sub my channel and follow me on Twitter at LtBuzzLitebeer. If you have questions about any weapon in the Division, look no further than my comprehensive weapon review playlist to answer any and all of your questions. And remember, from my channel, likes, comments, subs are loved. Until my next The Division video, this has been LtBuzzLitebeer saying peace out.